Welcome and hello. This is a lesson in Python for water resources titled printing. In this lesson, we're going to demonstrate how to use the print function, which is a very fundamental function in programming, the way we can print out the data we're working with, sort of a hello world type of lesson here. Let's go ahead and get started. What I have on the screen is my Visual Studio. This is my interactive development environment. So you can use any Python supported IDE that you wish, but this is what I'm going to be working with. Check out lesson one, getting this set up if you haven't already, and let's get started. The definition of the print function in Python is on the screen right here. It is print followed by the object you want printed, followed by a few other parameters that are listed down here. We have the separator, we have the end, the file, and the flush. You can read what those are, as well as the default values, some of which we'll be demonstrating in this lesson. All right, so right now I'm in the developer PowerShell. If you don't have that terminal window open, you can go to View and then scroll down here to the terminal window. Your command prompt right here. Actually, we have command prompt or PowerShell. So, okay, I'm just going with PowerShell. That's fine. Clear will clear your console from the previous output. And let's get started. I'm first going to print something using the interactive Python shell. So just type in py, or you may have to type in Python. You see this prompt right here. This allows me to type in Python directly. Let's go ahead and do our very first print example. It's going to say print and then hello, and then close quotes, close parentheses, and enter. Boom, hello world. We're done with our first example. Since this course is meant to be for water resources and water resources engineers, environmental scientists, and others in that field, I'm going to be keeping my examples centered around water-related topics. So let's just go ahead and retype that print statement. I'm going to say print, and then one, this will be our first example, Python for water resources, and boom, that's how we print that out. Right, if we wanted to exit the interactive shell, just type in exit and we're back to our main command prompt. And if you wanted to clear the console, you can type in CLS or just type out clear. Next one I want to do is navigate to my project directory, which is right here. And I'm currently up in this directory right here. So I'm just going to type in dir. That will display the contents of this directory. I want to switch into lessons. So I'll say cd lessons, and I'll check to see what contents are in this directory. 02 cd space 02, then check again, project cd project, and then check again. All right, I'm all clear. This is my current working directory. And if I wanted to check the contents, I'll type in dir, which means there's nothing there. I want to create a file now. It's going to be a .py script containing my Python code. So to do that here in Visual Studio, I can do a right click on project, add new file, and then we just call it script.py. .py is typical file extension used for Python scripts. And I can also create that same file just, oh, there it is, my Windows Explorer. I could just do a right click and then new and then text document. And I could call it script2.py and then delete that file extension, and boom, there's a second script file right there if I need it, which also appears right here. I don't need that though, so I'm going to delete that. Boom. Let's go ahead and print the same string as before, this time using a Python script by saving that same print command inside of a .py file and then calling that file from the terminal window. All right, so this is going to be how we typically run scripts in these lessons. What I'm going to do is say print, and then this will be example number 2, say Python for water resources, and then I'll save that. Okay, so that's saved in this script.py file. Back over here in the terminal window, I'm going to clear my previous results and then type in py. So I can type in dir, confirm the file's still there, use clear py, and then script.py, enter. There is my printout, Python for water resources. Instead of py, you may have your Python environmental variable set up to just be the word Python. So it may be something like Python space script py. It's not the case for me. That's why I got that error message. And if you want to repeat a previous command here in Visual Studio, then just do the arrow up. It shows you some of the previous commands that you ran. That's just a little bit of a shortcut. So I can clear by just going up, enter, and then run it again by going up, enter. Next, I'm going to print the string in the terminal using the same print command, but using a variable to represent this string. So I'll just go ahead and paste in what I have, as well as a comment up above. So the single line comment in Python requires the user put a pound symbol, and then everything after that on the same line is a comment. Message MSG, this is the same message as before. This time we're saving that string in a variable and then printing out the variable. So this should save and then basically do the same thing. So let's clear the previous results and boom. Number 3, Python for water resources. Sometimes what I like to do is see both of the file contents and the terminal printout in the same view. So if I wanted to just drag one of the tabs, I'll put this towards the bottom half. Okay. It's a little bit better. If I wanted to print this multiple times, I could copy paste, or in Visual Studio, Control D will copy over that current line, and I'll save it. And down here in the terminal, I'll clear, and then I'll run. Now we have it print out 2 times, you see? Nice. If I wanted to add a line break, I can just type in print because that automatically includes a line break unless you specify the end character as something different than new line. So down here in the terminal, I will clear the previous results, and we have a line break between 2 times we're printing out that message. And I can explicitly add additional line breaks right here by going quote and then \n/n. So 1, 2, plus the default line break, we should have 3 blank lines between the 2 messages here. So I'll go ahead and save that. Let's clear the previous results, and boom, now we have 3 blank lines between 2 times we're printing out our message. Python for water resources. For the rest of this lesson, we're just going to be running through a number of other examples and ways you can use the print function. Here is the next way right here. What I have defined is 4 separate variables, message 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to print them out here, just comma separated values. So we'll save that, come back down here to the terminal and run it. Looks just the same. Of course, I'm incrementing the number 4. If I say delete the space right here, it shouldn't matter because the default separator defined in the documentation here is a space. So we didn't explicitly define what the separator should be. So it's going to be a space. And then let's save that and then come down to the terminal and run it. Boom. Same as before. There's still a space between the word for and water resources. This time I'm going to explicitly create a separator character, and that's going to be a dash. That save. So SEP is a reserved term or parameter name for the print function. So this dash should now be showing up. Boom, now we have a dash between each of the different variables that we're printing out here. I could change this to just no space at all. Save, and then let's run that. Clear, and boom, now we have the same message, but no spaces. Next, I'm going to print out multiple strings consecutively. So what I mean by that is I'm going to define a string and then print it, define a string and then print it. You can use the semicolon if you want to put multiple commands on the same line. So let's save that, clear, and then run. Okay. So in this situation, we're demonstrating that that line break is automatically put above the print function. That's the default separator, which you can see right here. Because it's not defined in the print function, it has a /n or new line character associated with it. So in my next example, I'm going to specifically set the end character, and it's going to be just a blank space instead of a /n. So let's go ahead and save that, clear the contents of the terminal, run the program, and now we have all of the contents printed out on one line. All right, enough with strings. Let's go ahead and do some examples using numbers and our print function. First, I'm going to print out the number 230, and then after that, I'm going to define a flow variable equal to 240, and then I'm going to print that variable out. So save and clear and run 230 followed by 240. Next, I'm going to print out a string and a number together. So to do that, what I'm going to do is print out the string flow equals the variable flow followed by the units in CFS. So let's save that. The flow variable is saved as 240. We're using the print function with just commas separating the different parts of the string we want to concatenate together. Down here in the terminal window, I will run that. So we have flow equals 240 CFS. Next, what I'm going to be doing here is concatenating the string with the number using the plus operator. And as you'll see, this particular operation is going to cause a problem. So we have a problem right here. It says that you can only concatenate strings to strings and ints. So what we need to do here is convert the flow, which is a number, to a string, str, and then enclose that in parentheses. Let's come back down here to the terminal window, and boom, that's working again. Another way to do the same thing is to use the printf function, which looks like this. So print and then f, and then inside the double quotes is the contents, where the variables that we want to print out is in squiggly braces, brackets, I think it's called. All right, so let's go down and clear the contents and demonstrate that working. There it is, flow equals 240 CFS. I'm going to do a few more examples using f strings. So up here at the top in the file, I'm rounding a number to a specific number of decimal places. Say, for instance, we have a Manning's n value that is 0.038777. Right here, I'm going to just print out that Manning's value directly without rounding. After that, I'm going to be rounding to 5 decimal places, 4, 3, and 2. So that should each print out down here in the terminal on its own line. And boom, here we have the printout of Manning's n printed without rounding, and then to 5, 4, 3, and 2 decimal places, just by using this particular notation up here. F strings can do tons of different operations. This example right here is to add comma separators every 1,000. You just include the variable and then colon and then comma. So if I wanted to add a comma to my volume of, say, reservoir in units of acre feet, go ahead and do that. I'll clear the previous comments, and boom, it says volume equals 250,000 acre feet with comma separating the numbers greater than 1,000. Another example using the f string is right here. So this is a way to parse out the different parts of the date time. I'm going to clear that, then run. Right. So now we have the specific date time. And another example would be to align decimal places. So this will be the last one here. And what it is on the screen here is I have a list of monthly inflows. Then you see the numbers right here range from 452.5 to 11,800 down to 77.46. What I'm doing is looping through that list and allocating 10 spaces and 2 spaces after the decimal place. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Now we see that the decimal places are all aligned. Excuse me, I think the 10 was the total number of characters. Next, let's print to a file. So at the moment, we don't have any files in this project directory except the script.py file itself, which is right up here. But if I go ahead and run this script right here, we're going to create a new file and print to it. It's going to be Python for water resources. This file is a parameter, the first one, and then the second file right here references the file1.txt, which is going to be newly created inside of our project directory, or whatever directory that this script is located in. All right, so I'll go ahead and save that. Come here to the terminal, and then clear, and then run. Now what we see here in our project directory, we now have a file1.txt. There's no printout in the terminal, but if we open up this file1.txt, we have the text we pulled it to print out, that is 14 Python for water resources. Next, what I want to do is append. I want to print to append some text to an existing file. So I'm going to close this file1.txt, and then instead of or W, it's going to be an A. So the only thing I really did here was change the W for write to A for append, and then I incremented this number right here. So 15 instead of 14. This should append, it should not overwrite. So I'll save that and then test it out. So I'm going to run that. Right, let's open up that file1.txt. Right, so we have a new line of text appended to our original line of text. Next, what I want to do is read the data from this file and then print it out to the terminal. So I'm going to go back to the terminal, I'm going to clear, and then for the script itself, I'm going to use this right here. I'm going to be opening up file1.txt. Then I'm going to be reading in the contents of that file into this message variable and then printing out that variable. So save that and then go ahead and run. Here is the contents of that file, file1.txt, which is right here. So that's pretty much the basics of printing in Python that I want to describe. I got 2 more bonus examples here, so let's just run through them and then we'll be good. This one right here is going to create a new file, but call file1.html, and it's going to print out the same message as before, Python for water resources, but put it inside a h1 header tag, and then we can open up that file in a browser window. So let's go ahead and save that. We can close our file1.txt. Here's our terminal window. I'll type in clear and then run. Okay, so now we have a file1.html. If we open this up here in the text editor, the IDE, it's just going to have the h1 right here. But this file now has the HTML tags, so it should display as a bold header in a browser window. So here is my project directory in the Windows Explorer. I'm going to go right click and then open with, and then just select the browser window. And boom, here is that file opened up. This is locally saved, so this is probably not the same path that your file1.html was saved to, but it works for me, so that's good. And then let's do one more example. What I'm going to do is paste in this script right here. This is going to open up the message Python for water resource in a little pop-up dialog box. So I'll go ahead and save that. We can close our file1.html, come down here and run that. So give it a moment. Okay, there is our greeting. So greeting was the title. We put that right here. And then the message is 18 Python for water resources. All right, well, that concludes this lesson on the number of different ways we can use the print function in Python as we explore Python for water resources.